Lewis Hamilton's grand debut with Ferrari has been anything but smooth sailing. It's been more like riding a damn roller coaster blindfolded. After spending over a decade cozied up at Mercedes, the seven-time world champ now finds himself knee-deep in Maranello madness. And guess what? The critics are out in full force, throwing shade and questioning whether he can actually get his shit together in red. But let's not pretend this is a casual season for Ferrari. 2025 is make or break, and Hamilton knows it. So the big question is, can he actually back up all the talk? Can he shut up the haters and wipe that smug grin off Allaire's face? So far, it's been a bumpy-ass start. Sure, there was that sweet moment in Shanghai when Lewis snagged pole and then bossed the sprint race like a man possessed. But 24 hours later, the car was acting like it had a hangover. Either the team learned jack squat from the sprint, or the drivers were struggling big time to keep up with the damn mood swings of the SF25. 1 minute it's a rocket ship, next it's a shopping cart. And let's be real, when stuff goes sideways, all eyes go straight to Hamilton. Like it or not, he's always gonna be the headline. He's too famous, too decorated, and the expectations surrounding him are so sky-high it's a miracle he hasn't choked on the altitude. Even though both Lewis and Fred Vasseur have tried to keep things chill, reminding everyone that it's gonna take time for the man to get comfy in the new car, this is Ferrari we're talking about. There's no such thing as patience here. The moment results don't show up, the negativity train rolls in at full speed. And Lewis, yeah, he's not here for that bullshit. After just 2 races, he's already had enough of the doom and gloom brigade breathing down his neck. When asked about all the people questioning whether he still has what it takes to win in Scarlet Red, Lewis didn't hold back. He shrugged and said, "We're living in a pretty damn weird time. People are just addicted to negativity. Even the tiniest thing, they'll find a way to crap on it." Yeah, well, welcome to the shit show we call modern times, folks. Everything's a drama, everyone's an expert, and God forbid someone actually gives Lewis Hamilton a break. He recently admitted he doesn't even bother with the news anymore. Can you blame him? But every now and then, he catches a glimpse here and there. You know, little headlines, social media spew, random hot takes from people who should probably stick to knitting. And the worst part? Some of these clowns are people he used to admire, legit legends. Now suddenly acting like armchair psychics, guessing what's going on behind the scenes without the slightest clue. And let's not sugarcoat it. Back in Britain, the whole Hamilton jumping ship to Ferrari thing? Yeah, it's gone down about as well as a fart in a church. People are treating it like he committed high treason or something. Like he's some kind of red-suited Judas. Even though a lot of us with more than 2 brain cells know damn well that Mercedes totally screwed him over in the last couple of years. Ignoring his feedback, tossing him aside like last season's fashion, some fans still cling to the fantasy that Merc will magically fix everything and that Lewis was wrong to leave. Give me a break. So now that the man's finally had enough and gone searching for greener pastures, or at least a team that listens, the same people who stayed silent when Mercedes ghosted him are suddenly calling him a traitor. Unreal. It's like being gaslit by an entire fan base. Anyway, the circus has officially moved to Maranello, and Hamilton? He's already starting to find his groove. Some folks expected Allaire to wipe the floor with him. But guess what? That ain't happening. They're neck and neck in quali pace and race simulations, which, let's be honest, has got to be giving some haters a real headache. And then there's the latest drama. Lewis had a strategy call he wasn't too thrilled about. He made a suggestion, which any intelligent driver would do, but the media vultures spun it like he was throwing a tantrum or disobeying orders. Seriously? He just offered a different view, and now suddenly he's the villain? Vasseur had to step in and set the record straight, saying Lewis was thinking about the team, but apparently that doesn't fit the narrative when you've got a hate boner for Hamilton. It's all just part of the same toxic agenda. The guy can't even breathe without someone twisting it into a headline. Lewis himself said he doesn't feel like people are really recognizing the effort he's putting in. I mean, come on. He's 40, starting over with a completely different team, different car, different culture, and somehow people expect him to show up and dominate from day one? What kind of delusional fantasy world are we living in? And he nailed it when he said, "It's just a total lack of appreciation." You don't just hop into a brand new car that behaves like a moody teenager and magically become unbeatable. It takes time. It takes work. Look at Vettel. Look at Alonso. They were damn good from the start, sure, but building something lasting with a new team? That shit takes years. Lewis isn't trying to rush the process. He's not cutting corners. He's not pretending it'll be easy. He's building something real, something sustainable, and he knows it'll take time. But apparently patience is a lost art these days. If he doesn't win by race 2, he's washed up. If he questions a call, he's disrespectful. If he breathes too loud, someone writes a think piece about how he's not a team player. Let the man drive. Let him build. And maybe, just maybe, shut the hell up for 5 minutes and watch greatness unfold the way it always has. Step by step, season by season, with all the grit and fire that made him a 7-time world champ in the first damn place. Look, I'm not in some damn rush. I'm taking my sweet time building something solid with this legendary squad. But let's not forget a little detail here. We're not talking about some run-of-the-mill team. We're talking about freaking Ferrari. The Tifosi don't dream small. These people want both titles, constructors and drivers, and they want them yesterday. That's the bare minimum in their eyes. Now, after the first couple of races, that dream might feel as far away as world peace, but hang tight, the season is long as hell. There's a mountain of upgrades coming that could turn the SF25 into a full-blown nightmare for the rest of the grid. Or at least, that's the plan. Problem is, Mercedes seems to have pulled a rabbit out of their ass and are looking quicker on raw pace, at least for now. That said, judging anything after 2 bloody weekends is like reviewing a movie after the opening credits. And let's be honest, Australia and Shanghai are about as similar as tequila and holy water. But still, people are already drawing comparisons, especially between the 2 Ferrari boys. Now here's where things get juicy. During the sprint in China, Charles was nowhere near Lewis. But in the main race, the Monegasque prince showed up like he'd had a double espresso and a personal vendetta, even with a busted front wing. Yep, the dude was flying with a broken car. That's either terrifying or impressive, depending on which side of the garage you're sitting on. Ferrari's got 2 big headaches now. First off, their car somehow went faster with a chunk missing. That shouldn't be a thing. Secondly, Hamilton's trust in the SF25 vanished faster than a politician's promise, literally in under 24 hours. That's not just a red flag, it's a goddamn parade of them. If you're planning to fight for world titles, you can't have your lead driver going from confident to confused overnight. That kind of performance whiplash won't cut it. And guess who's already throwing shade? Good old Jeremy Clarkson. Because of course he is. That man couldn't resist a Ferrari hot take even if you gagged him with a steering wheel. But here's the truth. Ferrari has to do well. While the rest of the teams are run like businesses, Ferrari is straight up religion. It's the soul of the sport. It's drama, it's legacy, it's passion with wheels. Which is exactly why the pressure on Lewis is through the goddamn roof. The new kid on the block wasn't expected to just show up. He was supposed to blow the damn doors off. And oh boy, how sweet would it be to pull that off in China? In front of a crowd that basically worships him like a racing deity? Guess what? He freaking did. In the sprint, Hamilton came out of the gates like someone lit a fire under his ass, grabbed pole, and just vanished into the distance. Left everyone eating dust while he danced his way to the win. So yeah, the old lions still got bite. But Ferrari, they've got a lot of homework to do if they want to keep him roaring. Now here's where things get weird, and kind of hilarious in a tragic way. Just a few hours after making global headlines and being treated like a racing god in Shanghai, Lewis Hamilton, wait for it, only managed to qualify 5th for the main event. Yep, 5th. And then in the race, the man was so damn slow he basically rolled out a red carpet for his teammate to cruise past him. And as if that wasn't embarrassing enough, he got disqualified. That's right. DQ'd. Boom. 0 to 0 in one single bloody day, on the exact same circuit. What kind of voodoo nonsense is that? It's like someone cast a curse on him mid-lap. Honestly, it made about as much sense as socks with sandals. But now we're heading to Suzuka, and the mood in the Ferrari garage is a weird cocktail of cautious optimism and, please let the car not explode. They're hoping to take full advantage of the SF25 sweet spot. Medium to high-speed corners where the car actually behaves like a proper race car and not a confused lawnmower. The crew learned a hell of a lot in China, mainly about all the shit the car can't do, and now they've got a long-ass to-do list to fix that. Hamilton, though, still chill. The man's got zen levels of patience. He's all like, yo, It's only race 2 and we already know where this car sucks? That's a win. And honestly, he's not wrong. China's been a happy hunting ground for him in the past, so he figured he'd milk it for all it's worth. He's also getting the hang of how the SF-25 likes to be set up, like figuring out where the diva wants her spotlight. And now that he's starting to crack the code, he reckons he'll be way more on point when they hit other tracks. That's the plan, anyway. But let's keep it real. Things will shift. We're not going to see Ferrari stumbling over their own shoelaces like they did in Melbourne and China forever. At least that's the hope. The Chinese Grand Prix? Yeah, they'd love to memory wipe that one. Between setup fails and the whole car legality debacle, it was a full-on dumpster fire they'd like to pretend never happened. And no, don't hold your breath for a miracle just yet. Ferrari's playing the long game. No big flashy upgrades for Suzuka. They're saving the good stuff for Bahrain. The shiny new floor they've been cooking up is on ice until then. Why? Because they're not interested in slapping duct tape on problems anymore. They want real gains. Big picture. Not band-aids. So here's the question. After all the chaos, all the disqualifications, all the sassy headlines, do you still believe Lewis Hamilton has what it takes to become Ferrari's next world champion? Or has the magic worn off? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We want all the hot takes, no holding back. And hey, while you're at it, smash that video on your screen right now. You know you want to.